I just want to talk about this horrific dating story that happened to me. A couple months ago, I went out with this man, and there were red flags, like, before I went out with him. Like, I felt like a weird vibe. Like, I was like, he seems, like, odd.
There was a weird vibe, lots of red flags. He seemed odd. Why did you choose to go out with this dude? Let's play the game. Is this real or is this a lie? Which is funny. It's a game you have to play whenever you see a woman talk on social media. If there's a camera pointing towards her and she's talking into the camera, you have to play this game called Is It a Truth or Is It a Lie? Well, what's going on, fellas? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. I have a few clips we're going to be going over today, and I just want to apologize in advance for the jump scare later on. Anyways, how's it going? My name's Rat Boy. Let's do it.
I just want to talk about this horrific dating story that happened to me. A couple months ago, I went out with this man, and there were red flags, like, before I went out with him. Like, I felt like a weird vibe. Like, I was like, he seems, like, odd. But I was like, let me just be nice, because sometimes I have anxiety, and I'm, like, probably just having anxiety. So, first thing he says to me is, I don't care what bar we go to, as long as I could watch this game on the TV. And I was like, okay, that's, like, really rude. Like, you're going on a date. Like, what do you mean? Like, go hang out with your friends and go watch the game. Like,
I'm going to make one comment here. I never was a fan of this look right here. I know a lot of guys kind of like this, I guess, but the whole, the fillers and then the eye, like, whatever is happening here is something that a lot of women look this way. And I think they all just go get the same stuff done. Yeah, I'm really not, I really don't care for it. I mean, this might be why the guy wants to look at a TV, look at a game instead of looking at the person he's with. I don't know. I'm just making an assumption.
Don't go on a date then. So I didn't answer him for like an hour when he said that, and then he like called me and he's like, do you still want to like go out? And I was like, yeah, I just thought it was like a little weird to say you want to watch a game, like we're going on a date. Like, are you gonna talk to me or just watch the game? Like, should we reschedule? Like, I'm confused, whatever. So he's like, no, like I'm gonna hang out, like it'll be fine. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we get to this bar and it was completely dead, and we're like laughing how this guy was like playing the guitar and like no one was there. So I was like, do you want to follow me to like this other bar that's like a little more fun and like lively? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he's following me to this other bar, mid-drive there, pulls a U-turn and completely ditches me, like doesn't say a word.
Oh, I see. Oh man, this is a classic move. Yeah, he had to ditch a bitch, didn't he? Everything's starting to add up now. He went to the bar that was, nobody was there because he was afraid he'd be seen with you. This happens a lot, especially whenever you're meeting people online. We could probably go into her, her TikTok, look at her other videos and see where the camera angle lays. Maybe it's only from like the neck up for most videos. But I think we all know what happened. Okay. You're not going to take him to his regular bar so he can run into somebody he possibly knows being seen with you. That's not how these men work, unfortunately, for her. Let's continue.
I'm just like, what the heck? Like, this has never happened to me before. Like, nothing like this has ever happened. So I text him and I'm like, where did you go? Like, what are you doing? And he doesn't answer me. And then at 3 a.m, I get a text message from him. And he was like, yeah, I just, like, didn't like how you looked. Like, I thought you were going to look different. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what? I'm so confused, sir. But, yeah. So I text him back and I'm like, no one has ever said that to me before. Like, good luck on your dating journey. So I hope he's doing well. Crazy cat.
So this probably happens a lot. I couldn't tell you whether this happens a lot or not, but a lot of times these women get on dating apps, they start posting pictures of always like the chest up type pictures, you know what I mean? And they give the assumption that maybe, again, it's 2025. I'm trying to be nice, okay? I'm trying to be as nice as I can, so I can't say certain things, but you know what I'm saying. These men have no idea what they're in for whenever they show up. And it could be something just as small as maybe he likes going to the gym. Maybe he likes going to the gym and he's looking for a woman that will be like his gym couple type of situation. And he just doesn't see that with you. Okay. He needs a gym baddie is what he needs. And he just doesn't see that with you. Unfortunately, guys have to do this. They have to ditch a bitch, drive off. Thankfully, he was in his own car. He could get away safely. That's good. But yeah, it leaves these women confused. They match with so many different types of chads online that You know, I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often, and I'm also surprised that we don't see more videos about it. We need to see more videos about this happening to women. Just the guy shows up and then they're like, okay, I'm done, and then they just drive away. Absolutely. Also, and fellas, I want to apologize for the jump scare right here, by the way. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. Wait, why is it Paul?
You know, what gets me about the modern day situation between men and women is I don't think men understand how many of us were ready to settle. Let me repeat that. I don't think men understand how many of us were ready to settle due to growing up and idealizing love. Like, I would have settled for one good experience with a man because I didn't know any better. I would have thought that one good experience was above and beyond. And that's what we mean by like nice guys benefit off of the abuse of bad men, because one good experience would have been enough. One time where I wasn't cheated on or left in the dust or ridiculed or verbally and mentally abused or physically threatened. Just one guy to be kind. That's all it would have taken. And men fumbled that so fucking hard that now we have a male loneliness epidemic. I mean, like, the bar was in hell and men were limbo dancing with the devil and they still couldn't reach but then the disconnect came where women and like me, you know, a lot of us, we started.
Here's where the disconnect is. A lot of men would rather just be alone than be with someone that is like this, just all together. And that's what men are seeing. You have this woman in her front seat saying that men fumbled women like her. Are you really? You're really going to sit there and say that? Men aren't fumbling women, okay? Fumble, that insinuates that you're trying to hold on to something and you drop it. No, these men are actively just throwing these women just in any direction, just away from them. They're trying to get away as quickly as possible. They're seeing what's out there and they are choosing to go elsewhere. You're not going to find any fish in a pond that's completely just polluted. They're going to different ponds.
Just wanting to grow ourselves. You know, and I'll be honest, as a former pick-me, it started as like, well, maybe I'll get better and then a man will love me. And then it was kind of like a resigned of like, well, no man's gonna love me, so I might as well give it. But then I really, really did start to love myself. And then I went to therapy. And then I saw people on here like Drew. And Drew, I would take Drew's videos into therapy and I would, you know, talk about a guy in the past. And then, you know, now here I am 2 years after starting therapy. And I can confidently say I am disgusted by the average male's lack of everything.
That's very interesting that you would say that, but I have something else to say. There is no doubt in my mind that an individual like this would have no issue finding, even right in this very instance from this video, finding a man. That is probably the saddest part of it all, is that there are men out there that would also, you know, like she said, is looking for love. There's a lot of men out there that are like that would see a woman like this and be would possibly go for it. That is the hypocrisy. But how many men do women like this go through in their lifetime? And like she says, she's choosing all the men that attack her, that hurt her, that you know, they have a violent past and all this stuff. So why are you choosing those men? You know, she still hasn't answered that question. She was choosing all the wrong men to spend time with. I wonder if those men are lonely right now. I think this is less about a male loneliness epidemic and more about women who couldn't keep a man if they owned a hotel in Reno, but now all of a sudden they're thinking they're the ones that call the shots. That it's the men that are lonely. No, men are choosing to be alone. Okay, men are not the ones making videos, multiple videos. There's so many videos, you guys. There's so many videos. For every video a man posts, there's like the ratio is like 1 to 500. But that's the ratio. There's unlimited videos of women doing this.
Just an overwhelming lack. They're just lacking in everything. And then I think back to, you know, 2-3 years ago, who I was just begging for love, begging for one guy to be nice. And I just want to hold her and hug her. And that's now like why when like I have friends who still date and they'll be like, oh, he was so nice to me. And I'm like, bestie, I love you, but we got to remember that's the bare fucking minimum of someone liking you. If someone likes you, of course they're nice to you. I could not wrap my head around that before, you know, like, he's so nice to me, that's such a big bonus. No, if he likes you, he's supposed to be nice to you. Like, that's, I was sitting here thinking about the disconnect this way and just like how funny it is that women grew up. I mean, we grew up with Prince Charming. We grew up being told marriage is the end all be all.
And there's your problem right there. That's your issue. women hold marriage up to this. It's like this high. It's like a goal to them. To a lot of different types of women, it's like they find the husband, get the marriage, do this and do that, and then they got the marriage and they don't know what to do with it. It's like a dog chasing a car or chasing his tail. Like he wouldn't know what to do with it even if he got it. So this is the situation. It's kind of like the end game in PoE 2. It's like once you get to it, and then what? Just waiting for the next update.
Even though we are one of the first 2 or 3 generations to not have to depend on marriage, we still wanted marriage, and men fucked that up so bad.
Women had nothing to do with it, you guys. It was all men. Men fumbled. We messed up, you guys. We messed up. We're missing out on gems like this. The diamonds here, you fellas. We're fumbling the diamonds. No, that's completely delusional. Some of the most delusional speaking. I don't know. Something's telling me she's not even in therapy, you guys. I don't know. I don't think she's in therapy. She doesn't seem like she's healthy in a lot of different ways, obviously. But I just think there's a lot going on right here. She brought up that she was, seeing someone, talking to someone, which that's great for her. But I don't see it. Why would she? Did someone tell her this? How did she come to this conclusion? How is it the men's problem?
On another note, I'm curious as to when men started lacking. Because yes, there's been instances throughout history where they but you look at old school romances, man. Like there's an artist who was so in love with his wife that he had her wet barefoot prints installed on their carpet.
Yeah, well, his wife wasn't twerking on Instagram and hitting up random dudes in the DMs and getting back shots. So I don't think his wife was doing that there. I'm trying, you guys. I really am. I am trying. Whew. This baffles me. This is, and women bring up old fashioned, what happened to men? Well, what happened to women? Can you just look around? Can you just look around? Just look anywhere, in any direction, you will find the answer you see. We have some of the most untraditional women, modern women now, but it's oh, what happened to the men? Are you? This has to be some sort of satire. There's no way this is serious.
I want to be someone's muse. I want that type of love. Or the man
this has to be.
Georgia who built a castle for his queen, and after she died, he still had all these paintings made of her and stuff. Bring back yearning. These men today think basic kindness is enough to install a relationship, and that's because we've been instilled to think that that's enough to install. I think I'm fumbling words. But you know what I mean. They were allowed to get away with bare minimum because for some reason recently we've been oh, bare minimum. Anyway, now I'm just rambling, so I'm going to go now.
You are rambling. And let me go ahead and correct you there. She is absolutely right. The minimum now for men is just being nice. Okay, we don't have to pay for dinners anymore. Everything's 50-50. We don't even have to text, because if she's attracted to you, she will make all the effort. So these women have been making all the effort this whole time. Like in the last video, that the woman drove. She even made the plans. Oh, let's go to this other bar. She was doing he just wanted to go watch a game. He didn't even care. He didn't even care to begin with. And then he found out he got catfished and was he was out of there. But even still, there is, at what point does dodging accountability get so bad that you can't even just rewatch this video? Okay, just rewatch it and then show this to the person you've been talking to. See if it makes any sense. They equate the male loneliness epidemic, supposedly the male loneliness problem, with lack of marriages. Marriage rates are down, the lowest they've ever been. There's a higher percentage of single men now than ever. Okay, but it's not men that are lonely. Okay, these are men that are choosing to be alone because it's a lot easier than having to deal with a woman who is constantly annoying you. You're constantly having to pay for everything. Yes, they got degrees. They got 5 degrees, but they can't get a job. The standards are through the roof. Even if you're in your 40s and you're trying to find a woman or trying to date, God forbid, the standards are through the roof for these women. They are still wanting all of this princess treatment type of behavior. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter if they're in good shape or bad shape. It doesn't matter if they're healthy or not. They are going to want the same thing that Nina Agdal would want. And then men are actually sitting around asking, why would any man in his right mind risk his basically everything for women that act this way? That is a good question that they will never answer because it's the men's fault. Men fumbled. Men fumbled. No, men did not fumble. Men just gave away. Like they just threw it away. Anywhere away from them. The inflated egos, the social media, the constant need for validation. These are all really big red flags for men now. And every woman does this, supposedly, allegedly. Every woman does this, and a lot of men are looking around and they just do not see the quality. So they're choosing to be alone. They're choosing to live their life in peace and solitude. But anyway, that is going to be the end of today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment down below. Like the video. Subscribe, please. Subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.